first shlok of Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran Mahatam. I bow unto the Lord who is Sarva Chaitanya, who is present here, there, and everywhere. There is not a place that is not pervaded by the Supreme Bhagwan Sri Krishna. Anandamaya Surupavale. He is the bliss that is experienced by the soul when it merges into oneness, where it comes into contact with the Supreme. This is the blessing of coming to Bhagavad Yajna. जो उत्पत्ति पालन संहार को मूल कारण है. The Lord who is the one who creates, brings forth everything. Palan means to sustain. Or sanghar ko mool karan. Mool karan means he is the root cause. What is there in this world that Bhagwan is not the cause of? He is the cause of every single living entity. It matters not in which religion or what religion you ascribe to. All religions pay their pranam or their humble respect to the Supreme Divinity. In the Upanishads, Ishavasymidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagatti natakti na bhunjita magratha kasya svidhanam. Ishavasya, there is not a place where Isha is not present, where God is not present. Ishavasymidam sarvam, he is in here, there, and everything. Sarvam, Ishavasymidam sarvam. Yatkincha jagatyam jagat. He creates it and therefore he owns it. He becomes the one who is most present in it. Where can you turn and not see him? This is the magnitude of Bhagwan. Mool karan, he is the root cause. Daihik, Daivik और भौतिक तीनों प्रकार को ताप और नाश करने वाले हैं. He is the Lord that destroys the threefold afflictions. Daihik, Daivik or bhautik, that which originates from our own karmas. That which comes, calamities which comes because of nature, through storms and difficulties and earthquakes and so forth. And that which is caused by the force of the Devatas, when the Devas become displeased with us and they, by the twist of fate, they influence our lives. He who is the one, Tino Prakar ke Tap Nash, he destroys that. Bhagwan Sri Krishna hum namaskar karte hain. I bow to that Lord. And the great saint, Naimi Charyam Kshetra Vyasani ki alankrit karte hai, Shivaladi Buddhi Surji ki namaskar karte Katha Rupa, Rasa Swadami Kushal Shaunak ji usne pucha. The Katha of the Lord is likened unto Bhagavatam. Ye Panchama Veda Nirala. One great saint declares that the Vedas are the branches of the tree. The Upanishads are the fruit. But the rasamrit, but the juice of the fruit is the sacred Bhagavatam, is this great Bhagavad Katha. So he says, seated there, अज्ञान रूप अंधकार को नाश करने लिए करोड़ को सूर्य तमान तेज से सूर्य महाराज. That O great Guru Sutta, you are the remover of all difficulties. Ajnana Roop. What is Ajnana Roop? Ajnana Roop means the darkness that covers or veils our minds and veils our sight. In a spiritual sense, they refer to darkness, but in a material sense, when we get drifted away from God at times, sometimes we go and we get lost a little bit. And that is caused by the material pullings of the world, things that pull us away from knowing our true nature. So he is Andhakar ko nash karne wale. He is the one who removes this. The great sages call him or refer to the learned Sut, the disciple of Vyashi. इस घोर कलयुग प्राप्ति होने से यह जीव आसुरा को संपत्ति को प्राप्ति हुई है. In this age of Kalyug, men would not be drawn towards praying and doing acts of good virtue. They would be drawn to sensuous things. They will be drawn to things of the world. To get them to come puja and to do puja and to sit for yajna and so forth is very difficult. To get them to take part in any type of religious activity is also very difficult because of the influence and the nature of this age in which we live. It is called Kali Yuga. So he says, it is very, very difficult. जीवा सरस संपत्ति को प्राप्ति अत्यंत पीड़, जीवात्मा को अज्ञान निवृत्त को स्वरूप जाने की अकृष्ट हो साधन क्या है? For those who have drifted away from the path, what means is there available for them? That's you and I, all of us. For those of us who drift away from the path and we don't attach much importance to this because there are. We are very fortunate to be in a home where they see the importance of it and we do it. But not all homes attach importance to this. And that is very important in our lives. What we attach importance to and what we give priority to in our lives is most important. That determines our fate and our future. Because what we attach great importance to is what eventually we find, or is where we eventually find ourselves and surrounded by such. And this is what Bhagwan explains. That Vaishnu ko lok maha is Gaur Kalyuga Nibhrita liye Pavitra ki Pavitra Shreshta si Shresht Krishna Bhagwan prapti kare jo sadhan ho kripa sagaram prakti kare. For those who are drowning in the ocean of misery, that tell me, O Great One, what means is there? Suji Maharaj ke is prakar Chintamani ke laukik sukh dene wale samarth hai. The learned sutta, and one who knows the scriptures is considered to be like Chintamani. You know what is Chintamani? Chintamani is a wish-yielding gem. Chintamani is also the home of Bhagwan Sri Ganesh. Today is the evening of the Chaut. So Chintamani is also referred to his home. But Chintamani is a gem, a wish-yielding gem. It's like a formula that gives you whatever you want. And this is what the great sages are saying, that this great Bhagavad is such, Kintu Guru Charanam Kripa Drishti Jayate, that without the blessings of who? Guru, Vaikant Dham Dene Ki Samarthe, then one cannot attain Vaikunth. Hey Shaunak, तुम्हारे हृदय श्रीमन नारायण की प्रति गुरु को प्राप्ति बढ़ी, इसलिए समस्त सिद्धांत साध संसार वही दूर करने वाले तथा श्री नारायण भक्ति के बढ़ने वाले हैं. One can attain Narayan in this age of Kali Yuga that is very difficult. Forces of evil are very powerful. Easiest way, bhakti ke badhne wale hain. To have the growth of bhakti in one's heart, one can attach oneself to the feet of Narayan. Bhagwan ko santusht karne wale hain. When Bhagwan becomes pleased, jo sadhan hai so ise tumhara varnan karunga, isliye savadhan ko shravan karo. That which is very, very easy, listen with rapt attention. Kalarupa ki sarva bachine upai Shukadev ji Srimad Bhagavad ko batalai hain. That in this age, of course, those who can have the recitation of the Srimad Bhagavad, Bhakti Jnana Vairagya, that what is the merit of reciting this Bhagavad? And it is threefold. Bhakti, one gets increased devotion. What is Bhakti? Bhakti is the intrinsic or the connection that is held between ourselves and God. When you stand up to pray, my friends, each and every one of you, all of us have a different way of praying. Some of us sit quietly and we do a little jap, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Some of us, in many different ways, we offer salutation. Some of us do it congregationally like we do here, which is very important. Some of us in the privacy of our homes or quietly. So this is what Bhagwan says, that bhakti, that devotion that stems from the heart. Gyan, what is Gyan? Gyan is knowledge of God, but not so much of God, because we can have knowledge, I can have knowledge of the scripture, but it does not make me a devotee of God. I can go to the mandir every Sunday morning, but it does not mean that I am a devotee of God. It means I am a good follower of the mandir. I can go to Jagya every night, but it does not classify me to be a devotee of God, does it? No. Carpenter does build a house, but it doesn't mean he have a good house. So this is what Bhagwan says. Bhakti is different. Very, very different. Gyan means the knowledge that causes us, of course, to attain God. And that comes from what? Satsanga. And that knowledge can be only attained by Vairagya. Vairag, what is Vairagya? Vairag means to cut. Dispassion, the English word. but it means to cut away from the things of this world. And how is that? How do these two come? Bhakti is easy. All we have to do, Shriman Narayan, 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 Shriman Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. O Shriman Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. O Shriman Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. O Shriman Narayan, Narayan. जिस समय ऋषि जन्मंतारे उदय होते हैं, one cannot get the opportunity to have this. Norris and I were talking about Bhagavad on one occasion. And he was telling me long ago, they start Panchayati Bhagavad. Everybody will come together. One person couldn't afford to do it. So everybody will come together, a whole village will come together, and this year they go host it. On the first occasion, they go host it by one family. Next occasion, they host it by another family. They still do that a little bit now. But now God has blessed us tremendously that we are able to do it for ourselves. But he says that how does such come? How does one bhavet punyam tat bhagavatam labhet, to have this in your home or get the opportunity to be here? श्री भागवत में पढ़ के मन शुद्धि के लिए दूसरे उपाय नहीं है. To listen to the glories of such जन्मंतारे पुण्य को दे होते हैं. You have to be born again and again and again, and only when you have sufficient karmas, जैसे मोक्ष साधन की प्राप्ति होती है, then you can have it. But until one is not born again, जिस समय राज ऋषि परीक्षित को था सुनते ले सुखदेव जी व्यासन बैठे पर, in the beginning when Sukadev Mahamuni sat on this august seat and he recited the Bhagavad Katha, उसी समय अमृत पूर्ण कलश को लेकर देवता को लोग वहां पर उपस्थित हुए हैं. The devatas, they left heaven because they heard of the recitation of the Bhagavad, and they came in their hand hold in Amrit Purna Kalash. They come with a kalsa. You know what a kalash is? A kalsa. And they stand in front of Sukadev while he was narrating the Bhagavad, this very same scripture for Raja Parikshit. और शुकदेव जी को नमस्कार करके स्वस्थ साधन के कुशल देवता ने कहा. And when they stood in front of where the Bhagavad was being recited, they told Shukadev, they communicated to Shukadev ji, they told him that, हे भगवान, कथा रूप अमृत की आप हम लोग को दीजिए, इसका अमृत घट को लेकर बदले तो ले लीजिए. Take this kalsa which is filled with the same substance that support us. You know the devatas are eternal, they don't die. If they stand in front of you, how you know you're going to see a devata? If a devata take a form like myself and they come and stand up in front of you, how you know it's not me and it's a devata? You have to know. Devatas don't wink. So when they stand up and they're watching you, they do blink their eye. Mahabharata, Nalandamayanti, Adi Parva. और पसेद नहीं है. They don't perspire. They don't perspire. Yep, so them could sit down here comfortable. They may need fun. और माला की, and their wreaths, their malas never steal. It never gets squeal. Malas never get quail. And the fourth way, they don't walk on the ground. They have no footprint. They may appear to walk on the ground, but if they walk in, they float just above the earth. There's a beautiful katha in the Mahabharata about a king named Raja Nal and his wife Damayanti. When she went for her Swayambar for the second time, the devatas had come and they took a form just like him, and she could not. She seen four Ashi husbands stand up there. Ladies, that might be a good thing for Somalia and a bad thing for Somalia. For who husband good, you could throw the mala around all. But for who husband bad, you say up the road. So they see four, and she had to distinguish. How do I tell the difference between all of them? And when she looked closely, she remembered teachings of her guru. So the devatas, this is how you are able to tell them apart. It's beautifully written in the Mahabharata. This is how you're able to tell them apart, and very beautifully he says that they came, and when the yajna was being held for Raja Parikshit, they told Sukadev, they said, take this nectar. This nectar is what makes us immortal. And the churning of the ocean, that's what they churned the ocean for, to get that nectar. So they brought some and they said, give it to him and give it to everybody who want to listen to Bhagavad. They told Sukadev to give to him. जिस पीने के राजा परीक्षित तक्षक अमृत को भय नहीं रहेंगे उसका लोग भागवत की पान कर देंगे. When he drinks of it, Takshak's sting will be rendered ineffective. He wouldn't lose his life, he would live, he would have eternal life. और उन्हें देवता भक्त के इस प्रकार देवता की प्रार्थना सुनकर सुखदेव जी आप विचार किया. It's an interesting trait, but when सुखदेव जी thought, अलौकिक अमृत को वहां भगवान को अलौकिक कथा है, how can you begin to quantify the nectar of immortality with the great katha of the Lord? They are not on the same scale. अमृत और वहां भगवान का अलौकिक कथा, अर्थात वहां को कच मणि ऐसे बिछाकर हंस लगे. And so he thought to himself, it is like comparing a money, a gem, to broken glass. Although they look the same way, they carry different value. उन्हें देवता को अभक्त समझकर अमृत नहीं दिया है. And knowing them that they would not share it with the devotees of the Lord, he smiled, but he never gave. यह श्री भागवत कथा देवता की भी दुर्लभ है. This Bhagavad is even difficult for the devatas. उन लोग को पृथ्वी श्रीमद् भागवत को भगवत स्वीकृत है. भगवान शास्त्र पाठ करते और श्रवण करते ही वैकुंठ फल को देने वाले हैं. He who listens to it. प्राचीन समय नारद जी के प्रतिदिन दया सिंधु सनकादि ऋषि को सप्ताह विधि पढ़ना करना. When you got your handbills, you will see the term Bhagavad Saptaha Yajna. Why is it called Saptaha, not Bhagavad Puran? It's called Bhagavad because you have Bhagavad Puran Katha, don't you? You go to Bhagavad Puran, sometimes you get Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. But in this handbill it had Saptaha Yajna. And this is what Bhagwan says. He says, in times gone by, Narad ji was the first, एक बार चारों सनको महर्षि है, to listen to this katha from the mind-born son of Brahma, this Bhagavad Saptaha. What is the major difference between the two? And this is Bhagwan पोषण उपज्ञान सुनते हो. That listen, जो शिष्य समाचार सुचे कृपा करके मुझे कर कहा. That listen, एक बार one occasion चारों सनकादि महर्षि सनक सनंदन सनातन and संत कुमार, the four mind-born sons, they are childhood sages. Their bodies don't deteriorate like you and I. They don't suffer from aging. They don't have to buy wrinkle defense cream and all night oil of Olay and all of these things to keep them looking young. The glories of the Lord keeps them looking young. So like this, Bhagwan ki darshan liye सत्संग करने हैं. सत्संग अर्थ समायात दुखेना दुखितः. Through satsang and through being here, one can remove many difficulties. Dukheno sahantaro kalashun bridha vimao kutaha. That listen to what took place. Jai Madhav Madana Mudali. Jai Madhava Madana Mudai. Madhava Madana Madhava Madana Mudai. Madhava जय केशव कलिमल. जय केशव कलिमल. जय माधव माधव Narad had met a young lady and she had two sons. She was very youthful. Her children was older than her. And she began to tell her story to him. How she had her two children are very weak. They were lying and almost as if their life were coming out. And जब वृंदावन के आए हैं. She tried many different ways to help them, but they could not get better, just like when we have our children and when we want to do something to help them. Vanshi dharam pita taram bena patre manoharam vatsanga kaustubhamani balmani virajitam. But the Lord Banamali, who lives in Vrindavan, when she get there, a little bit they started to feel better, and now they realize that this is bhakti. This is the supreme goddess that is known as Bhakti. And as such, our two sons are Gyan and Vairagya. He says, of course, that there was only one way to get rid of such. It is to have the recitation. Muktim Gyanam Vidaktim Cha Kritva Gata Bhoi Kritadva Upasantam. And upon the instruction of the Sanat Kumar, he had the recitation done, of course. And for Saptaha, during the course of 1 week, 3 times a day. Madhava Madhava Murali Jai, Madhava Madhava Murali Jai, Keshava Kalimala Katha Bhagavatam Samapi Nityam Bhavati Yat Grihe. Every day for 7 days, Tat Grihardopitam Hi Vasante Papanashanam. They would have the Katha of the Lord recited again and again. Saptaha, Saptaha. Saptaha, the classification comes different because Saptaha means it is done within the course of 1 week, 3 times a day. That's what we are doing here. That's why it's called Saptaha Yajna. That's why this is called Bhagavad Saptaha. Carries that distinction. This is what would have been done. And as such, of course, when it would have been done, Shukha Shastra Kathayan Shapale Samatadam, that when it would be expounded during the course, it is only then that the 2 souls in the form of our sons will become youthful again. Dullabhevam Kataloke Srimad Bhagavato Bhagava Koti Janma Sanmukhe Punyineva Labhyate. To listen to the katha, the recitation of this katha within the course of such, it is not easy and it does not come by chance within a family. It comes because of repeated merit. So therefore, O great one, when one gets the opportunity, of course, to listen to such, Madhava Madhava Murali Jai, Madhava Jai, Keshava Kalimala Jai, Keshava Kalimala Jai, Madhava Madhava Jai, Madhava Madhava. Bhagwan describes, of course, such is the greatness of this Bhagavad. Tenayam Vangmayi Murti Pradaksham Varte Hare Sevana Cha Pata Darshanam Papanashanam. When Bhagwan was leaving in the age of Dwapar, Sri Krishna was leaving. Uddhav was a great devotee of his, you would hear in the end of the Bhagavad. And when Uddhav, before he ascended, he asked Bhagwan, he says, Lord, when you leave the earth, where or how should devotees turn to get help again? And Bhagwan gave him the following blessing. Cow, cow. Wherever there is a cow, if you go there and you worship the cow, Gau Mata ki puja, you will get help. Tvamadnistvam. If you kindle the fire and you worship Agni through offering ghee, I remain in that. Agni Garbho, Shami Garbho, Deva Garbha, Prajapati. Hiranyagarbho, Bhugarbho, Yagyagarbho, Namastude. If you go to the peepal tree and you surrender, you will get help there. This is the third place that I take this notice to be great. Or Brahman ko Pad Sevanam. If you go and you surrender to the feet of the holy ones, the Pandits, the ones who lead a life along the path of Dharma, there you will get help. Or Tenayam Vangmaying Murti. And the fifth place where my own Shakti is infused. Vangmayi Murti is in the pages of this holy Bhagavad. Sevanatma Padarshanatma Shani. Know that I myself live there. And those devotees who worship the Bhagavad, who listen to it, who sing of its praises, know that I am ever present where this Bhagavad is. Bhakti Bhevadya Katase Bhakteshu Govinda Rupa Katre Prema Katre Bhaveteshware. How does one attain me? By listening to this Bhagavad and by chanting my name. Madhava Madhava Murali Jai Madhava Madhava. Iti Srimad Padma Puranutakar Bhagavad Mahadaya Samvartanayana Krishnodan Sundar Kundavan Nayana Pisala Sundar Gali Soe